You are about to watch a video to see how you make this drawstring bag. And I just want to say, as you are watching it, that you might see some kind of bad sewing along here. This is no one in the video's fault. This is because I only had one machine because all my other machines are getting serviced right now. And the machine's messed up. We tried to fix it a bunch of times and couldn't. So if you see bad sewing throughout the video, that is why. Yours should not look like that. So just keep that in mind. To start making the drawstring bags, you need to start by cutting the fabric listed on the paper. So we have the two exterior rectangles. We have the two lining rectangles. We have the two casing rectangles. We have the loop squares. And then the last one we have to cut is the strips for the drawstring. So it says they need to be 2 inches tall by the width of the fabric. Everyone say hi to Kaylin, who is helping me make this video. Hi. So she has uncut fabric right here. So your fabric, when you buy it at the store, should be naturally 42 to 44 inches long. This one is probably 44. So right now it's folded in half. So when you open it up, it becomes 44. So you do not have to cut anything for that measurement, for the width of the fabric measurement. So you're just gonna line this up in the corner. And then you're gonna cut 2 inches, and you're going to do this 3 different times. So again, it is folded down here. And now when Kaylin grabs it and opens it up, it's gonna be one long piece that measures 44 by 2. So now we have all of our completed fabric, and we are ready to sew the first step. So the first step, we have our 2 casing rectangles, and we have wrong sides up. And what you're gonna do is fold a 1/4 hem. So 2 times you're gonna fold, just like Kaylin did there, and then you're gonna press it down. You're gonna do this on both sides of each piece of fabric. So when they are done, you should have 4 hems ironed down or pressed down. So now you have to stitch them down. So just right where the fold meets, right where the fold meets the fabric on the end here, you're gonna sew. When they are done, they should look like that. All right, now we have the 3-inch squares. And first we are going to fold one in half and then press. And now we're gonna open it and lie it flat. And now towards that line that you made in the middle, we're gonna fold both sides over so they meet at that folded line. And now you're gonna fold that in half. No, other way. Nope. Like close it, like a book. Yeah, perfect. And you're gonna do that with both loop squares. Now we are going to sew it shut down this line and then put another matching seam right across the other side on both pieces. So when they are done, they should look like this. For the next step, we need one of the casing pieces, we need one exterior piece and one lining piece. So for the first step, we are gonna fold one of the casing rectangles in half, wrong sides together. So you have the right sides facing out, and you are going to press it so it stays flat. We have already done that. We are going to now take our exterior piece, the green one here, and put it right side up, and we are going to line the casing piece at the top. So the folded edge is on this side, and the cut edge is meeting the top of the cut edge of the exterior piece. Now we're gonna take the lining piece and put it right side down on top of, I think that's the right side on top. Is it? They're very similar.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah, I think so. Now we're gonna put the exterior piece right side down on top so we have the right sides facing each other. You wanna make sure all of the pieces line up nicely at the top, and you are going to pin in place along the top. All right, now that we have that pinned in place, throughout the whole project, we are gonna use a 1/2 seam allowance unless stated otherwise. So now using a 1/2 seam allowance, we are going to stitch across the top where you just pinned. So now that one is sewn, and you are gonna repeat that whole step with your other remaining pieces, and sew again at a 1/2 inch seam allowance. For this next step, you are gonna put your pieces down, and you are gonna open it up so you can see the casing. Pull that out so then it lies flat, and now you're going to press the pieces down on both sides as much as you can and press. So after it is done, it should look like this. There should be no bunching. It should be totally flat. You're just pressing it down. Now you're gonna take one of these pieces that you just did, and you are gonna open it up so you have just the exterior piece laying in front of you. You are gonna take one of your loop pieces, and you are gonna fold it in half, and you are going to pin, or you're gonna put it a few inches up on either side, and you're gonna pin it in place. All right, so it should look like that. And then you're gonna put the same one on the other side. You wanna make sure that it's lined up pretty much at the same exact spot on the other side. There you go. We also have a new guest now. Welcome Mia to the game.
Okay.
Now that we have both of them pinned, we are going to baste them in place. So basting is when we change the stitch length to 4, because again, this is a temporary stitch that in a later step we will secure with a tighter stitch. So we're just gonna put a few basting stitches right here and right there. Now that we are done basting, we are gonna put our stitch length back to 2 or 2.5, depending on where you had it. Now we're gonna lay one of the exterior lining pieces right side up as so, and we're gonna take the other piece and put it right side down so it matches, and we're gonna make sure that it is lined up perfectly all the way around, and we are going to pin all the way around, but we're gonna leave a 4-inch opening on the bottom of the lining so that we could turn it right side out. So for now, we're just gonna start pinning all the way around. All right, now that it is pinned all the way around, we are gonna sew using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. But again, we are gonna leave an opening in the lining just a few inches, so when we're done, we can turn it inside out through that hole. So we're gonna start here, go all the way around, and end right here. All right, now that it is sewn all the way around, we are going to make a few cuts so we have nice clean corners when we flip it inside out. So we're gonna cut one across right here. And then we're just gonna make a little diagonal line both ways to kind of help with taking out some of that chunk. So that is what I cut out, and you are gonna do that on all 4 sides, and then you're gonna turn it right side out. Oh, now we are gonna turn it right side out through the opening. You wanna make sure you kind of get your fingers in there and kind of punch out those corners so they're nice and crisp. You should have your 2 little loop squares come out. You should have the casing come out. So the opening that you just made, you're gonna, if it's not already, just kind of naturally fold it into itself. You're gonna fold it into itself and then sew it shut. And it's okay that the the seam will show because it's gonna be on the inside of the bag on the bottom anyways, so you shouldn't be able to see it. Now that the opening is sewn shut, now we are gonna put the lining into the bag. So now we're just gonna put that into the inside. Perfect. Now going all the way around the top edge, you're gonna top stitch. So again, that's not like a real measurement. It's just gonna be kind of close to the fold here, but on your exterior fabric. You're gonna put a line all the way around. So you make sure you don't sew it shut. Make sure you open it and you go around in a circle. All right, so we have finished sewing the drawstring bag and now we're gonna work on the drawstrings. So if you see any selvage on your fabric, so that is the white part at the top, you can cut them off because we don't want them.
Snip.
All right, so now we're gonna take one of the strips of the 3 and we're gonna fold it in half. And then at the fold, we're gonna cut it in half. So now we have 2 smaller pieces from that one big piece. So now we're gonna take one small piece and one big piece, put them right sides together, and you're gonna sew it across the top so it forms one long piece. Oh, and welcome Kaylin back to the series.
Yes.
Don't worry, Mia's still there though too. And we're gonna repeat for the other side, or the other strap. So now we are just pressing the seam open for each of those so it lies nice and flat. Okay, now we're gonna fold these the same way we did those small 3-inch loops. So we are going to fold it in half, wrong sides together, and press. So you have your right side facing out and you're gonna press all the way down. It's gonna take a little bit longer because these pieces are longer. So now that it's pressed in half, you're gonna do the same thing that you did with the other one, where you're gonna now open what you just sewed, and then you're gonna press each side into the middle so it meets in the middle. And then fold that in half so you have one skinny piece basically all the way down, like so. Now that you have a skinny piece, you are gonna sew down the side that is folded all the way down, and then optional, you can do the other side too. Grading purposes, I don't care if you do one or both. Aesthetically, it might look better with both, but it does not matter. To get the drawstring through the bag, you are gonna take a bobby pin, or you're gonna take a paper clip and attach it to the end of one of the drawstrings. Oop, this. Oh, okay. And this is what you're gonna use to fish it through. So you're gonna fish it through one side. And the reason you put the paper clip on it is because it is easier to feel the paper clip inside of the drawstring bag than it is to feel the fabric. So you're gonna go around. And then back through the other side as well. So I'm kind of looping it. Okay, so then these two ends should be hanging off. So I can take this off now. And then I'm going to run one of the loops through the bottom and up. And then I'm just going to tie it. If you want, you could also sew it. The directions from the website, it was just tied in like a tight knot, but it would probably look better if you sewed it, to be honest. But there is one string, and then you are just going to repeat for the other side, and then you are done. Now you have your cute drawstring bag.